So people always assume that I'm this big extrovert because I do podcasts and I've done a lot of speaking. But honestly, I'm pretty shy and I'm terrible in big groups. I spent a lot of time on communication coaching and practicing public speaking just to get comfortable having conversations like I do now. It's funny how we assume certain roles require certain personalities when sometimes the opposite is true. Welcome to What We Don't Say. I'm Ken Roden. So our launch episode got way more engagement and response than I expected, and the feedback was overwhelmingly supportive. One of the big takeaways I got from listening to you all was you wanted shorter, more digestible chunks on specific topics. For the next 3 episodes, I'm going to be talking to Carl Oliveira. He's a CRO and executive leader who has spent over 2 decades proving that authentic people-first leadership isn't just good for culture, but it's good for business. Most recently serving as the CRO of NetChecks, Carl has built his career on a simple and powerful philosophy. Vulnerability is the key to outstanding leadership. And you can't get the best out of people unless they trust your heart is in the right place. Couldn't have said it better. Before we jump in, as you remember, every guest we have, we link to a charity. So for this episode, we're supporting the Face It Foundation. They do peer support for men's depression recovery and work to break down the stigma around men seeking help. It's something that connects directly to the conversation we're having over the next few. You can find more about the foundation in the show notes. First, we're going to talk to Carl about how he accidentally discovered he was built for sales, why introverts can actually be incredible at it, and that moment he realized what actually energized him wasn't closing deals, but it was watching other people succeed. We're jumping into the conversation right at the beginning where I asked Carl about his journey. Let's dive in.
I was paying the bills, I was making money, but I knew something was missing and I didn't know what at that point. And my boss, the Patrick, who became my mentor, made me a team lead. And so I started mentoring some of the newer folks that were coming in. And that's where as I said, that's where I fell in love.
You got the taste for management, for coaching. One of the things that I've thought a lot about is when you're in these moments where you're not really happy with what you're doing, or I like the sales example that you had. You want to talk to people who you can add value to, or you can help them solve something. If you're at a job and you're not for them, you should just call it. Don't sit in the room. Don't waste your time.
Yeah, man, it's taken me a long time to figure that out.
Yeah.
I think you're dead right. And I'm actually going through that now. I joined this organization. I love the team. We're doing really well. We've turned the ship around. But the reality of it is there's a mismatch with me and the leadership team, the senior leadership team and the board around a whole bunch of different things. Years ago, I would have stuck it out and I would have said, hey, you know what? We'll continue to plug along. But you don't have to do that, right? If something's not feeding your soul, you have to go find something that is feeding your soul. And because otherwise we spend so long working, it's like, why torture yourself? If you're be honest with yourself and with the people around you. I had a conversation with somebody the other day. I'm on this journey where I will not tell a lie. I am trying to get through. It's been a couple of years now. I'm trying to get through my life without lying to myself, most importantly, and without lying to anybody. Let me tell you, if you want to see some turns in your life, start with a day. Try to get through a day without lying to yourself or without lying to anybody who asks you a question. Don't be a jerk about it. Like if you have nothing good to say, don't say it, but don't lie to anybody and see where your life takes you.
Yeah.
It's been a fascinating journey. I'm still amazed at some of the things that have transpired and not worked out. It's really interesting.
Yeah. It's like what I'm hearing you say is a little bit about you can be accountable to yourself. You can do a lot of things. You can build a lot of trust with people, but you can also probably find what's going to make you truly happy if you're just honest. I found the story about kind of you going from driving a UPS truck to going into finance and getting into sales. That sounds like a pretty critical inflection point for you. What are a few other moments throughout your career where you said, hey, like this was a moment when I look back that was important, or it changed the trajectory of my life for good or bad.
There's a bunch of professional and there's a bunch of personal. Which would you prefer?
The ones that come to mind first, I think, because those are the ones that probably mean the most to you right now.
I think for me, the most impactful moments in my life, I think about the birth of my kids, my divorce, my parents both passing away. Those personal things had such an impact on me in different ways, both positive and negative, that really changed their trajectory of who I was as a professional. Then on a professional front, I mean, I've been through 4 company exits. I've been through an IPO. I've been through a couple CEO changes. Those are all very pivotal moments where you've got to dive deep as a leader and stay true to yourself and figure out, is this for you? Is this not for you? And make moves accordingly.
Do any of the personal moments kind of happen at a similar time when any of the professional ones happened?
Yeah, that's a really good question. The divorce, I think, happened at such a pivotal time and happened because of what was happening in work. I think
Yeah.
partially.
Yeah.
I was having a lot of success. I was late 20s, early 30s. I was having a lot of success. The teams I was with, I never do anything alone, obviously. The teams I
Yeah.
was with were having a lot of success. We had just come through an IPO. I had a goal that I wanted to be a vice president by the time I was 30. I became one at like 28. We had gone public. I made a little bit of money. And my kids were born. My wife was staying home at the time. Toughest job in the world. Certainly couldn't do that. I had become so consumed with work and the success that I had become a version of myself that I am not proud of. And that success bred a whole lot of cockiness and a whole lot of, man, just this overinflated sense of ego that impacted my work life, but also more importantly, impacted my personal life. And it ended up costing me my relationship
Yeah.
with my wife and my kids at that point. I was still having success in work, but man, what a wake up call. What
Yeah.
a wake up call that was. Now, flash forward to today, I will tell you my ex-wife is everything I thought she was. She is an amazing person, an amazing mom. She gave me the strength and as tough of a time as we went through, her support was what enabled me to be as successful as I was. And my relationship with my kids is absolutely amazing, knock on wood. What we've realized over the years now is we co-parent way better than we ever were as a married couple. And we're better friends than we were a married couple. It has humbled me in a way that allowed me to even though I was really successful before, what it did was it humbled me in a way that allowed me to be real and really helped set me on this journey of just being true to myself and being the best leader I can be without being some fake persona of a leader. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? I hope.
It paint me a picture of what that looked like. You said I wasn't the most humble guy. I wasn't showing up how I should be showing up. But that's in hindsight. What changed?
My management style was all about just getting the most out of people and not giving a rat's ass about who they were as a person. We're all battling things outside of work,
Yeah.
and we've all got our personal lives. In most cases, people are working because they need to support their lives outside of work. I had my priorities flipped and I expected the same of my people. And that was not, again, I am not proud of that, but thankfully it was pretty short lived because that wake up call came pretty early.
Yeah. I hear that, I've managed as well. And I think when I look back on my early leadership positions, I'm like, probably wasn't the kindest I could have been to my team. And I didn't have the empathy that now, being divorced, I think of the world very differently now. Where I could have been a little bit kinder, and I probably would have gotten more out of that team member, and we would have been better working as a unit. So I totally hear that.